So it's pronounced Micah, right?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
So, all right. So we are here with the man, the myth, the legend. One of the best deadlifters in the world. Got some world records attached to the name. Micah, if you want to do a quick rundown of some of the titles you have, just for a little bit of introduction on yourself.
Okay, so as far as records and titles, about a year ago in October, I did a multiply meet. To be honest with you, I don't even know what meet it was. It was a national US F something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
It was like an SPF meet, but it was in my backyard. It was like a 3-hour drive, so I said, why not? Actually, I've been competing for a while. I took some time off, actually like a year, because I kept trying to pull 800 and break Ed Coan's record over and over and over, and I kept missing and missing. So I was like, I'm kind of over powerlifting, I'm going to take a break. So I took literally almost a year off from lifting, and then I seen some friends or something on Instagram, and I was like, man, I kind of miss it. I want to go to the gym and see what I can pull. And then next thing you know, 8 weeks later, I did, that was October last year, I did the meet, and that's when I broke the all-time deadlift record, pulling 795.
Whoa!
I weighed in real light. 795, it was single ply, so it wasn't raw. So I was in a single ply suit. I also squatted and benched. Squatted 8 in a multiply suit. It was I think an 850 squat, a 600 bench. So but I benched in a single ply shirt, so because I can't really get into multiply shirts because I don't like them too tight.
Yeah.
And then I kind of started getting people. That's when raw was kind of getting big. So people were like, "Oh, it's in a suit. It doesn't count. It doesn't count." So I was like, you know what?
Doesn't count.
I'll do a raw meet, whatever. So then I went out to last year at the IPL Worlds. I got invited, so I'm like, sure, I'll go do it raw. I didn't even really train for it. I just got invited for it, and actually bombed out the squats, of course. And that was my okay, I bombed out. Then after that, I went home, and I'm like, I better pick it up and do some things right. And that's when I planned for the LA Fit Expo, and then that's when I broke the all-time total at 165.
Is that
January.
raw?
And then I broke the all-time deadlift record too, but it's the all-time full power. So it's how you have deadlift only, and then you have in a full power suite. So so I broke that too. So it's kind of cool. That was my first raw meet, and I cut to 165. So that's pretty cool. That's kind of when my injury started. When I finally realized, okay, I was hurt. Actually, throughout the meet, it was getting worse, and then during the deadlift, my last warm-up, I felt something weird in my knee, so I didn't actually perform as good as I did in training. I only squatted 535 when I doubled 585 in sleeves, so something like that from cutting, whatever, we can go into that later, everything, you know how meets are. So that's when I broke the all-time total. And now I've just been battling this knee. I got surgery. I've been competing for, a single ply lifter for a long time. Started in the USAPL, did some IPF.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't know that. No kidding.
Yeah, I started in the USAPL. I was a 148er.
How old were you then when you first started?
Dude, I started lifting super young. My dad was a lifter, and he had a gym in the basement, so...
He was a competitive lifter, your dad?
Yeah,
He was
okay. He was he was a raw lifter back in the day. He's 60 now, so he was a 700-pound squatter.
That's okay. That's good. That's better than okay, man.
He's 250 pounds. So.
Yeah, still okay. 700 still good, but okay.
Yeah, he pulled 700 pounds, and I think he had a 480, 460 bench. So he wasn't as competitive as me. He won a bunch of state meets and stuff, but he blew his shoulder out. or something, like trying to bench 500 or something.
Yeah.
But then he kind of he's still strong. He still benches over 300 now at 60 years old. So.
Yeah. So was your dad?
Like my background.
Was your dad?
What's that?
One of our questions was if you had like a mentor or somebody you looked up to, would that have been your dad then?
Man, I don't want to hurt the guy's feelings.
Oh yeah, you're on the record. That's true too. Okay, well let me reword it. Let's say it was your dad, and who else? Let me say that besides your dad, who was a guy that you looked up to? Is there a guy like an inspiration that you look up to?
Yeah, there was a couple guys, but it didn't like kick in until I got like more involved. Like I didn't really follow powerlifting. It was just like because I was a football player. I played football in high school and a semester in college, so I just powerlifted because I liked being strong.
Yeah.
And then I was just like I got invited to the Olympia to do deadlift only. This is when I was in the USAPL.
Okay.
I got invited, an invitation from Steve Dennison to come pull. I think I was like 21, maybe. It was a couple years ago. I was like considered the first junior to get invited. So I ended up going, but one of the guys in the full power meet backed out, so I actually got to do full power instead of deadlift only. And then I was at the meet. I pulled. I weighed in. This is when I was a 181er. I pulled 755, but I hitched. So I pulled 755 at 21 years old.
Whoa, man! That's a record, right? That would have been a record, right? Had to be.
No, because the record was still 791 by Ed Coan.
Yeah.
It would have been top 4.
Okay.
The funny story is I was actually in second place, and like my previous meet PR was 639, and then I went into the meet and opened up at like 639, and then went to 672 for a PR, and then the guy that I was competing against is this dude named Al Caslow. He's like a stud, like all time. I mean, he has the all-time total at 165. And multiply, he squatted 900 at 165, so he was like this dude that was like stupid good.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who he was. I was like, oh.
Like, who the hell is this?
So, my coach, the guy that was coaching me, came up to me after I pulled 672 and was like, hey, do you want to just go for a PR and try to pull 700, or do you want to try to win? And I'm like, dude, I didn't come here to lose.
That's right.
So put whatever you have to put on the bar. I don't care if it's 900 pounds.
Yeah. Something special's going to happen today.
Yeah. I was like, it might happen.
Yeah.
So there's another story to it of like the emotions. Like it was weird. I lost my brother. Like going into that meet. Like he overdosed on heroin. So we can get into that later though if you guys want. It's kind of a cool story. So, but anyways, I went from 672, and I didn't even know what the weight was, and I just walked up to it, and then I heard the announcer say 755, and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm just like up at the bar, like, oh man, hopefully I at least get this off the ground. It's cool because I'm attempting. So I like had this really dramatic like setup, like people are pulling out their phones, and I'm like, oh jeez, what did I get myself into? And then I just kind of let like my emotions of like what was going on, like really in the meet with like my brother go on, and I just like put this like crazy thoughts in my head, and I actually pulled it off the ground, and like flew off the ground, and I locked it out, but I like did like a downward movement as I locked it out.
Oh no!
Moved that way. So anyways, long story short, I set it down. I didn't get the lift. I got sick. I lost to Al Caslow. Anyways, I go sit back in the warm-up room, and I see this guy walking over towards me. I have no idea who he is. Shake his hand. He's like, oh man, great job. That's a huge pull. And I'm just like thinking, oh, it's just a regular guy, whatever. So after he leaves, my dad looks over and he goes, you know who that was? And I was like, no idea. He's like, oh, that was Ed Coan.
Whoa! That was...
I was like, I go, who's that?
Of course you did.
I was like, who's that? And my dad's like, hold on, let me show you. And he started showing me some videos. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? I would have got a picture.
Yeah, no kidding.
I ran back over there. Like, yeah, I ran back over there. I'm like, hey, I had no idea who you were.
You're like, say it again on camera. Say it again.
And that's when, huh?
You were like, say it again on camera. I need to get that video of you telling me that.
Yeah. Repeat that. Hold on, let me record that.
That's right.
So, yeah, that's kind of like when I decided, like, okay, powerlifting is like my legit passion, and then all of a sudden everything started to click, and then I competed, and I did some IPL stuff, and then I just like gradually got stronger and stronger, and then I totaled like 21, or it was like 20, 21 or 20. Ed Coan did 2023 single ply. My goal was to beat his record. He did 2023. I did 2026. So single ply, that's my best single ply total.
Wow.
But I haven't done a single ply meet in a while, just because Raw got so big. I actually like lifting in single ply gear because it's so technical. I really enjoy it, and not to mention I get a lot out of my gear. But
yeah,
I always thought stronger was better, right?
So beating Coan, that's got to be one of your proudest. Beating Coan, that's got to be one of your. Beating Coan, that's got to be one of your proudest moments, eh?
Is that probably the biggest?
Yeah, like I had no idea. Like my coach was like, man, I didn't know when I tried to pull 755 how close it was to like the best ever. And like then when I got home, I like looked at the list and I'm like, dude, I'm sitting at Mike Bridget.
Yeah.
Ed Coan. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, then I start Googling, I'm like, okay, so that's Kobe Bryant. That's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, it's time to really, maybe I have a chance here, a window to do something big here. So then that's when I just actually stopped playing. That's when I was like, okay, no more college this, no more college that. I'm gonna focus on lifting. That's like all of a sudden it just became my life, and it just
an obsession.
Just everything. Yeah, it just became what it is, and I just accepted the fact that hey, maybe I was made to lift weights.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm not going to be. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be a whatever. I mean, I was a car salesman, and I was really, really good at that. And then we can go into that too. I quit that job to become a powerlifting coach and move out to Las Vegas. So a lot of things just started happening, and I just was going with the flow. I'm like, dude, I'm kind of living my dream here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm 20. I might as well just ride it out, you know.
So in terms of, do you program for yourself, or do you some coaches just so it's like, okay, you take the wheel for me, and you'll program for everyone else, but just so that, you know, you don't get emotionally attached to certain numbers. Because, you know, like sometimes when you coach someone, you could use your head, but when it's yourself, you start doing numbers with your heart, and it's too close.
And you're checking in. You got someone who you got to check and balance a little bit, like so you actually doing what you say you're going to do.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm going to be the one to say yes or no to my whatever goes on the bar or whatever, you know. Yeah. But I will admit that I'm putting all my time and effort into every single one of my clients, that it almost becomes, oh shoot, I got to do my own stuff. So I kind of just, I mean, I've had a few coaches do my own stuff, like, you know, as far as dieting goes and this and that. Because I think of powerlifting a little bit different than other lifters do. I know a lot of people, strong is strong. That's cool and all, but I like to beat apart. I like to be healthy as far as looks goes. Look strong and look like I could step on a bodybuilding stage, you know, in 5 weeks or something, you know. Mm-hmm. I just think that's, like, when you look at a guy like Dan Green, like...
oh, Frank, man. That guy looks like he's out of a comic book.
Like, that impresses me, because the dude's like, you know, when I started getting into powerlifting, I would see all these big names, like, but guys that were like, you know, I'm not trying to be rude, but like fat, and I'm like, well, that's not even, like, I don't even care, because at the end of the day, I still want to be able to have a girlfriend. I still want to
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, oh, he's strong, but that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then Dan Green came on, and it's like, dude's got nice hair, he's jacked out of his mind.
You lost me with the nice hair part, but do you think that this?
I'm gonna tell you right now, my hair is very important. We can talk all day about my hair.
That's right, straight right. But you could see a change in powerlifting where it is kind of passe. People are fat. Like the guys now are starting to look jacked. Like Larry Wheels. Like this is common now. Dudes are jacked on that platform. Like they look stage ready for bodybuilding. Some of them. Even the IPF guys, like, they're getting leaner and leaner because everyone's counting macros. And what we know about nutrition, in the 90s, how many of those guys had they didn't have cell phone apps counting macros and stuff, you know what I mean? So it's made it more competitive. Yeah. And do you do stuff like that too, or?
I think another thing is when you take off here's an example, and once you take off the single ply, multi-ply, because when you have all that gear on, you're not really building much muscle mass because you're using the tightness of the suit just takes away from that. So, which is why a lot of people are getting hurt because of the raw lifting is just so hard on the body. But anyway, when you lift heavy weights, no matter what you do, even if you eat like shit, you're still going to build muscle regardless because you find somebody that pulls 800 pounds who's kind of at a lower body weight, 250, 220, 181, 198, they have to build some kind of muscle mass, you know. Yeah. That's why, like, for example, the girls nowadays, it's like, you go to a powerlifting meet, you have girls that are just jacked out of their mind, and it's like, geez, they're kind of like more jacked than us, dude. Like, we need to start doing like a little bit, you know. But yeah, I think that the game has changed a lot, and it's not so much as, you have guys that I do respect a lot as far as big guys like Brandon Allen, you know, Brandon Livy, you know, the other big guys that have the all-time records because they're squatting 1,000 pounds raw. You know, so I have to respect that regardless. But still, I just look at things a little bit different because I'm a lightweight. So I just think that being like if I could have a choice to be sloppy at 190 and pull 800 or be ripped out of my mind and maybe pull 750, I'm going to pick option B all day because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, Wilkes go a long way.
And Wilkes-wise, it'll help you anyways. Like a couple pounds of fat isn't going to really, like, you trim a little bit of body weight, you're not going to lose a lot of strength by taking pounds of fat off, but it'll be a huge difference in how you look, feel, and possibly impact the Wilkes a little bit.
Yeah.
So do you count macros? Do you have a nutrition coach, or do you do that yourself, or?
Do I do what?
Do you count macros and calories or anything like that, or?
No, I don't count macros. I've never really looked into it because as far as macros and calories, like you can take in so many calories and count your macros, but it might not be the right stuff. Me, I track carbs, I track protein, fats, sugars, salt, all that kind of stuff, sodium.
Yeah.
So I kind of, at the end of the day, I don't like to say, oh man, I didn't hit my macros, or oh man, I went over my macros, or I had too many calories, because again, if I have a diet that's marked as 10,000 calories, well, I could go down the street and get 3 burgers and that's 10,000 calories, or I could have it laid out as a diet where I eat 7 different meals, and each meal is what I need perfectly to build this amount of muscle, or to have this much energy to go into the gym and be able to perform. Regardless of the amount of reps or whatever, you still have to perform right, you know. So yeah, no, I don't. I track meals and I make sure I get enough in each meal.
So more like a meal prep.
Because I was like into bodybuilding, but yeah, I don't like to call it a diet because then people think like I'm trying to lose weight. I'm not. Yeah. No, I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm trying to add muscle, as much muscle as my body frame. I'm only 5'5", so it's you know, it's hard to add that much muscle on this little body frame of mine. But I think to focus on adding muscle. I'm a firm believer in if you can add muscle, you're going to get stronger. I don't care. That's how I train my people. I train my people like all my athletes says, I'm going to add a crazy amount of muscle on you. Like, I'll have guys that they don't even, their mind's blown because all of a sudden they're like, dude, I have veins, I have six-pack, I have nothing that I never thought I would have, and I'm a powerlifter. Like, what is going on? And I put 75 pounds on my total.
Yeah.
So it's like,
what
I
about,
wouldn't want that.
What about water cuts? Like, what are some of the big water cuts you do? Like, how far are you cutting down, or are you cutting down?
Yeah, do you do big water cuts then, or?
See, when I was a fat boy, like, when I used to just not care. I'd be like, yo, like, the biggest I ever got was like 196, and I would cut to 181. So, but that was still easy because I have a super high metabolism. So it's like the minute I pull out water, the minute I pull out salt, or the minute I pull out, I'm like, I'll lose 6 pounds like overnight. Like it's hard for me to maintain 180 pounds at the way I eat. Like it's really hard. It's like I have to eat so much stuff to get to that weight. So for the LA Fit Expo, I weighed about 173. So it really wasn't that big of a cut to 165. Yeah. But it was a hard cut, mainly just because the way I had help kind of didn't work out. My body wasn't really, because I was leaner. Actually, I wanted to know my body fat, like leading up to the meet. So when I was like 2 weeks out, I was like 172 pounds. I was like 5.5% body fat.
Holy smokes, man!
So yeah, it was crazy. So I wanted to. So like when I got to like 169, it was like really, really hard to lose every bit of pound. Like I had to do, because the way I do a water cut is, I'll do the water, I'll add 6 days out, I'll add 3 gallons, but I'll put salt. Like I don't really have, like it just depends. I'll load up on salt, like load up on salt the week before the meet, just so my body holds on, puts all that water, sodium in my body. Not only is it 2 things that I like to do is I think that when you load up on that salt and all that water, it's kind of healing you because you're not really training hard going into that last week before the meet. So it's like healing all your little injuries, and then when you pull this, and then you're drinking 3-4 gallons, and every day you just cut a gallon out until the last day. And then like at LA Fit Expo, the day before weigh-ins, I was eating chicken and rice. The day before weigh-ins, and then I went to bed at 170, woke up 169, and then it was like the last couple pounds were so hard, but I just pull out the salt, and then all of a sudden, just because your muscles still hold on to that water and salt, so you're just peeing.
Yeah.
The minute you pull out water, you stop peeing. You know what I mean? So I would still drink the water. I had all that salt and sodium in my body. It was just like my muscles would just get rid of it. But finally, I cut water out. Then I didn't do any diuretics. I had to sit in the sauna for a little bit, but the minute I got into this, I didn't want to do the sauna. I wanted to try to make weight without the sauna, but it didn't work because I didn't have no fat on me. So what I did was, as soon as I got in the sauna, I do like 12 minutes in the sauna. I get out and sit for 5. But with all that salt I put on in my muscles and all that in my body, as soon as I got into the sauna, I was just dripping sweat. Like, but it's still in your system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't force out like that.
Yeah.
So when I put all that on me, it just came off me. It just came off me. I did two 12-minute sessions. I was in there for 12, came out for 5, back in there for 12, lost 5 pounds like that. Went and weighed in. It wasn't even like, it was more hard the week, like the day before, like just like nervous, being like, oh shit, am I going to make weight? I'm going to bed at 170.
It's stressful.
165 tomorrow. Yeah,
and they tell you when you stress, you retain water more, which makes it worse. But it's a mind game, right?
It's really hard to control. It's like, dude, you're gonna make weight. I've done it before, but it's like, I've cut from 188 to 165, and that was
water.
Yeah, that was.
Whoa, man!
It was. I committed to a meet, and then I became scared because I called out and said, "I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I was young." And I was like, yo, I'm going to break this record. I'm going to break this record. And then all of a sudden, like, my training was going crazy. So I was like, man, I'm not even going to do this meet. And then I'm like, then I was like, I better do it because, and I'm weighing like 188, and I'm like, I remember being at work. This was a couple of years ago when I broke the all-time deadlift record at 165, but I like super downward movement, but they still gave me the lift, so it was like, hey, whatever, I'm not the judges, don't be mad at me.
Take it, yeah.
Yeah, whatever, so, but like 2 days, the day before weigh-ins, I'm sitting at work, and I'm like, do I go 181, or do I go, I was like, 181, pulling 700 really isn't impressive of doing it 165, so sure, whatever. So I ended up just going over to Walgreens, buying like 5 bottles of laxative or whatever, and I just started drinking it. Man, it was death. It was so hard. I literally, I went from 188 Thursday and had to be 165 on Friday. But this wasn't like Thursday morning. I decided I'm gonna cut. It was like halfway through the day.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna make this commitment and do it. Worst case, I fail, but at least I made the weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, dude, after that, when I weighed in, I was on the scale like fading out. I was like, oh god, and I was like right on the mark at 165. But as soon as I got off that scale, I was like, I went in the car and I started crying, like literally crying. I'm like, man, I'm never doing this cut ever.
Yeah,
again.
that was it.
It was terrible, but
How'd you perform?
Huh?
How did the competition go? When you had to lift?
Well, okay. I mean, I stepped. What's that?
Like, what were the numbers like? Did your numbers drop?
No, actually, I squatted more. I squatted 578. I bet my bench sucked. Well, I benched 402, but I got red lighted, so I benched 363. I deadlifted 717, but it was like a double hitch, and I didn't actually get to watch the video until like after the meet. So I pulled I completely smoked it, but I just kind of had like a little whoop,
Yeah.
and then locked it out. Like I locked it out, and then like whoop. I kind of have that issue, but anyways, and then I was just like took this huge jump to like 750, and no one knew. Like people felt like that was my third attempt, so like people were like hating on me, like, oh, he should have turned down the lift. I'm like, dude, can you even do that? I didn't even know that. I was like 22 years old, and like people are mad at me, and I'm like, dude, do you realize I jumped from 716 to 750? I could have went like 722 and still probably got it,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So that's when I was like, I'm done. I'm going back to single ply. So then that's when I decided it's time to try to pull 800. So it's been a crazy roller coaster for me as far as lifting and meets and being up and down, and it's been fun, but it's kind of a cool story, just to tell. You know what I mean? It's like people really don't know what really goes on in some of our lives until they actually get to sit down and talk to you, and they're like, holy shit.
Well, to give a little background on that, what you're touching up on, I don't think, we were discussing earlier, I don't think people realize just how bad your injury is. You want to touch up on that? Like, people don't realize this is going to impact other aspects of your life.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I was just texting a buddy of mine today, and he was telling me, it totally didn't have to do with lifting weights, but he just said, he asked me if something made me happy, and I was just like, it does. And then he said, well, that's all that matters. And then it made me think, like, and he's like, and if you die doing it, guess what? You're happy, right? And I'm like, oh, I guess you're right. And then it made me click, like, holy shit, this is exactly how I feel about lifting. I don't, like, people don't realize, okay, so I didn't even realize how bad my injury was until I woke up from surgery, and they were like, first I was whacked out of my mind all on drugs. I didn't really realize until I got home, and I had someone tell me, hey, this is what happened. They were supposed to, like, do, like, a 15-minute, like, just scope out my knee and clean up some junk.
Yeah.
And then I woke up, and they're like, oh, yeah, they literally, like, did 6 different procedures. Like, oh, they fixed your meniscus. First off, I was told that they removed my meniscus. Then I was told that they drilled a bunch of holes in my knee. And then I was told that, oh, by the way, you're probably never going to be able to lift again, kind of deal. And I'm just like,
whoa, hold up.
So then I was on crutches for dude, my doctor was like, literally it was supposed to be like a 2-week recovery to where I was walking in 2 weeks, kinda, you know, but I woke up and he's like, yeah, you can't put your foot down for 8 to 10 weeks. I'm like,
Wow.
what are you doing? So literally my leg, I have a picture on my Instagram. I don't know if you guys want to show it, but I have a picture of my forearm next to my left leg, and my forearm was bigger. Like,
Whoa,
literally. Yeah, because I couldn't touch it. Like, my forearm was, I mean, we're talking like really, really close. Like,
yeah.
when I started going rehab, my leg got down to like 17 inches. My leg.
Yeah, that's freaking. That's like somebody's arm, yeah, or less. That's crazy,
yeah,
man.
Exactly. It was tough, dude, because I realized I had problems with my knee in like high school and college, and when I played college football, I always hyperextended my knee. And I never really, whatever, I'm young, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then it just became a bigger issue, and then it came to a point where at the LA Fit Expo, I couldn't go get my award because my knee hurt so bad I couldn't walk up the podium. I was limping.
Yeah.
So then later and then when I got home back, that's when I was making my move to Las Vegas. I was going to LA and then competing and then flying from LA straight to Las Vegas. Like I'm from St. Louis. That was my move. I was like, I'm gonna do this. Like I had a plan to break this record, come to Las Vegas, train with these top athletes, and do all these seminars and all this. Like had the whole year planned out, and then bam, I find
life
out,
throws a curveball, right?
I didn't even go to the doctor because I was like, I ain't hurt. I'm not hurt. Time off. So then I would take 2 weeks off. Then I would go back deadlift. And then I was like, oh well, whatever. I just can't go sumo, so I'll go conventional.
Yeah.
Then I did the animal stage. I just started doing all these things, and then all of a sudden, it was June, July, and I'm like, oh man, I just 8 months went by before I even went to the doctor. And I went to the doctor, the dude's like, I drove out to Cali to get an MRI, got the MRI, I come into the office or wherever the dude was, the doctor, and he was like, well, how's it feel? I'm like, it hurts. I can manage it, whatever. And he's like, you need a knee replacement. And I'm
holy shit!
I was like, what are you talking about, dude? And he's like, telling me, he told me I wouldn't be able to. He's like, man, you need to go to the hospital. You need to set up, like, go see a doctor, like, tomorrow and get this surgery set up because your knee, like, he was like, you have holes in your knee and there's no cartilage or there's no nothing. And I was just like,
just bone on bone grinding in there, basically, right?
I was like, and he was like, man, you might not even be able to like walk right again. Like,
holy
you don't get
smokes,
this man. I'm like, yeah. So I'm just like, what are you saying to me? I thought I maybe tore my meniscus or something.
Yeah.
Tore my ACL. I get in the car and I'm just like,
yeah, yeah, man.
I was like, did I just ruin because the guy was like, when did you find this out? And I was like, in January. He was like, man, so he was like, there's a chip or a crack in your, I don't know where in there. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. And he's like, it probably would have healed on its own if you would have got off of it, like was on crutches for like 2-3 weeks. But I guess that you keep putting pressure on it, it just like grew before it came 3 millimeters. Like, that's how big it was. He's like, he said it was a grade 5, and he's like, I've never even seen a grade 5 before.
Wow.
Now, granted, this was like a chiropractor at a college, so he kind of freaked me out, and I kind of wanted to punch him in the face. And I didn't really know what was going on, and I got in the car and it just like broke down. I'm like, dude, I just moved to Vegas. Like, I quit my job. I did all this crazy stuff am I done lifting? Like, what the heck? So I was like, I'm deadlifting the next day.
Oh shit, no. Oh no.
There was a little deadlift competition at Brandon Allen's gym, body weight for body and a half, or body weight times half of your body weight, or double body weight, I'm sorry. You have to rep it out.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever. I go there, not planning to do it. Go there to watch. Next thing you know, I'm weighing in. I just want to see what I weigh.
Yeah.
Next thing
you know how this story
I'm
is.
warming up. I'm warming up. Next thing you know, I'm standing there like, okay, I'm doing 350 or 365 for reps, and I do conventional. Long story short, I ended up getting beat by someone that I didn't even know, and kind of just went and embarrassed myself. Only did it like 26 times.
Only 26? Yeah.
I'll do 60 all day.
Yeah.
I only did 26. It's like, oh, geez. So, yeah, then that's when I kind of was like, you know what, I'm just not going to... I went back to the doctor. Went to a real doctor. He was like, oh, dude, it's not even that big deal. You just got to be on crutches or just don't squat or deadlift. And I was like, okay. And I'll see you in 6 weeks. It'll heal. Trust me. You just got to... So then 6 weeks go by, and he's like, oh, okay, well, maybe let's give it 8 weeks. And 8 weeks went by. Okay. Then he's like, oh, you need to just get on crutches. Just put on, when you're walking around the house, just put it on crutches. You just need to baby it. Get off of it so it can heal. Then I had planned a trip to Hawaii, and I just go into I was in the doctor the last time. He's like, let's just give it 6 more weeks. I'm like, dude, he wanted me to be on crutches for like 6 weeks. I'm like, dude, what can we do? Like, can we do a surgery?
Yeah, like this is dragging on. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my life. I've been dragging this on since January, so I already made that mistake. But if I can get surgery, can we do, like, is that an option? Like, is surgery what's going to fix it? Like, what's faster? I need to get back on the platform. Like, that's all I was thinking about. It wasn't like, will I walk again, right? Will I be able to run? Will I be able to do this, do that? It was like, I need to get on the platform, dude. Like, what don't you understand is, like, and supposedly the doctor was, like, the guy that, like, deals with athletes. And I'm like, dude, I'm an athlete. Like, this is what I do. This is how I make my money, is because people see me perform. They want to, I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
People want to be coached by the strong people. That's just, you might have a guy that knows more than me, or than Dan Green, or but guess what? Dan Green's still going to get way more clients.
Yeah, for sure.
Than Joe Schmo that's got 300 certifications, but he's overweight and he's not even good looking. That's just the way life goes. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man. So he's like, oh yeah, well, we could have done surgery. And I'm like, oh, okay, dude. So then I was like, okay, well, let's just plan the surgery. Let's just do it. Get it over with. And like, I'm ready. And he was like, okay, well, it'll be a real easy surgery. We'll go in, clean you out, and you'll be back on the platform 6 to 8 weeks. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm going to plan a meet. I'm going to get surgery and then plan a meet. And then I went to Hawaii. Funny stories. I was in Hawaii and went to a gym out there and everybody was deadlifting and I was benching, and then I decided, like, they got up to 600 pounds on the bar, and actually Steph pulled 530 there.
Holy smokes.
So, yeah, 530, 529, but whatever.
Yeah, we'll round it up.
Yeah, dude, we round up all day. So, I like, the guys are lifting, and I'm like, 600 pounds was on the bar, and I'm just like, 500 was on the bar. I'm like, looking around, and I'm just like, man, I'm getting surgery anyways. Like, whatever, you know? It's
already going to happen, right?
Yeah, and it was funny because on the way there, or not on the way there, but like before or whatever, me and Steph were talking about, she didn't believe me that I could pull 600. I was like, I can pull 600. I'll never not be able to pull 600. I don't care if I just got off crutches.
That's right. That's right. There's one number you're like, that's as far as I'm allowed to go down. 600. That's it. 85 years old, I'm going to pull 600. Right?
Yes. Exactly. Yes. Bad knee, good knee, I will guarantee you conventional, whatever. So
yeah.
She didn't believe me. So I'm like at the gym, and I'm just like, man. And then 500's on the bar, and like, she wasn't really, I think she was in the bathroom, so I was like, I'll pull 500 real quick, no warm-ups.
Who just pulls 500 real quick, no warm-ups?
And then I was like, hey, put it to 600. And then they put 600 on the bar. I was like 606 because it was in kilos. And I walk up to it, and I'm like, getting ready to pull it, and all of a sudden, like, I kind of look up, and I seen like her, and she was looking at me like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, jeez, I'm just gonna act like I didn't see her. So then all of a sudden I get scared, like, damn, what if I can't pull 600? Because I'm not stupid. So I went down and grabbed it, pulled it, picked it up. I was like, oh, cool. So I pulled it, and then it was kind of funny. I was like, man, I'm like, afterwards, I was like talking to people, I'm like, I've never feared a deadlift in my life. Like, I don't care if 800's on the bar, 900. That's me. That's kind of my ego. That's kind of who I've always been. It's like, I don't care what you put on that bar. I'll try it. But you know how you have some people like, I don't know. It's kind of heavy. Well, me, it's like, put more and more on. That's why I almost wanted to get a coach, because it's like, me, I'll be like, oh, if I feel like I'm having a good day, well, put 780 on. Oh, let's just put 800 on, because it's 10 pounds. And then I miss, and then I get in my head. So, that's how that went. And then I got home, had surgery, and woke up from surgery, and then it was just like, oh, man. That's when they were like, we did a microfracture surgery. And then I started calling doctors and talking to doctors, and they're like, yeah, those surgeries aren't guaranteed. Like, ACLs are guaranteed 100% to heal. Yeah. Yours is like, we drill holes in your knee to make it bleed, so maybe it can create scar tissue, or I don't even know, dude. There's so many different things. It's just like, I don't know. So people would tell me, don't squat, don't do this, don't do that. Don't do this. Well, no matter what I do, every time I take a step, or I just feel like in my life, it's like I have a choice to go back to being that average guy, go back to working at a dealership and just dealing with, I'm still going to have knee issues, being an average guy, or being Micah Marino, or being or whoever. I'm still going to have a knee injury, so I might as well do what I love to do and take that chance of maybe when in 20 years I'm going to have a knee replacement, or I'm going to have whatever. Like, that's where I'm at. It's like, I'm accepting that right now, to know that I don't care. This is my life. Like, you'll tell me 100 times, I don't care if anyone in the world told me, hey, don't do this, because in 20 years, okay, well, in 20 years, I don't want to be pulling 800 pounds. In 20 years, I don't want to be powerlifting. I want to be doing other things, helping other people do things that I did, or do things that anybody else did. I want to help give back, but I'm not going to just stop. Like, that's like giving up. It's like quitting. And I mean,
dude, you're 26 now. You're 26 too, right? So that's early to pack it in, right?
Exactly. It's like, I don't want to do that, no. And then it makes it like more challenging to me to know I have this issue. I like issues. I like challenges. I like being told no. I like being saying, bro, you ain't gonna pull 800. You know how many times people told me that?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna break this record. You're not gonna do this.
Is that the next big one you're chasing? Is that 800? Because have you hit the 800 yet?
What's that?
Yeah, because you hit 795, right? You're just.
Hey man, we round up, remember?
Yeah, that's right. Well said. Well said. Nice setup. Nice setup. Good.
So kind of what's going on. I'm training a client right now. He's from Hawaii. We've been together for a year. His name's Ed. He strong single ply puller, even raw. But anyways, we've been trying to get him to pull and break my record. So he did the Olympia. Every meet we've done, he's been moving up the all-time list, like literally just knocking people off.
What's his name?
And then he'll take a fourth attempt. What's that?
What's his name?
His name's Ed. Edward. He goes by on Instagram Special Ed.
You just posted something about him, right? You just on your Instagram, you just threw him up there.
Okay.
You just threw him up there, yeah.
That's him. Yeah. So in every list, every meet, like the first meet he did, he was like a 730 puller, and then or 688, then pulled 755. and then went to the Olympia and pulled 772. So he went from like he's just like doing this up
Huge
the list. And then at the Olympia, he pulled 772. We took a fourth attempt at 800 to try to beat my record.
Yeah.
Missed. Then we did a meet yesterday. He took a third attempt, or he knocked off Mike Bridges, and then he went from, now he's number 5 on the all-time list. He pulled 783, and then we chipped. We had 794 on the bar, and then we chipped my record. So he would have beat me by like half of a pound.
Yeah.
He got it all the way up. He just didn't get it locked out.
How does it feel to be training someone to beat all your records, though? It's kind of bittersweet.
That's what I was just thinking. What kind of feeling is that?
I like when he's pulling, like, it's like yesterday, I'm sitting there and I'm like cheering for him. I'm like, oh man, he's about to go up here. He's about to break my record. It's like, I hope he hits this. I hope he misses. I hope he hits this. I hope he hits this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
He's a super. He's like. My thing is records are made to be broken. So why not have it be broken by one of your own? Like,
you look good either way.
Yeah, it's win-win for you because
either way, yeah.
You had the record, and then you helped coach someone to break it, so it speaks for you as an athlete and as a coach. You look good either way. It's the best case scenario.
And that's my biggest thing is you have people that will be like, oh, well, he's just a genetic freak. He's not really a good coach. Well, no, I actually had to work really, really hard to get to where I've been. And then it's like, okay, well, I train people like Ed. I have clients all over. I mean, I've coached 200 people since last November.
Yeah, holy smokes, man! You take on that kind of client roster, 200 people. That's crazy.
200 people I've coached. Now, granted, I'm not coaching all of them. Some, that's just life goes on. You don't have a coach forever. You get a coach when you're ready for need. That's what you do. But yeah, I've coached. I've coached so many people, and I like to coach people that are rookies and have no experience because then I can just give them all this stuff that I wish someone gave me when I first started.
Yeah.
Of being like, that's why I feel like my knee injury. To be honest with you, like I'm super upset and mad and all the above that it happened, but it humbled me up as a person, because if you guys know who I was a few years ago, dude, nobody liked me. I was just that strong young kid, came out of nowhere. I was cocky. I was just rude. Like, I was just this jerk, and I didn't care about no one, but I'm pulling 800. I don't care about you. I don't care about nobody. I care about me, Now, I'm still a selfish person, but I feel like in this sport we all kind of are, but...
So do you relate that injury? Is that injury part of why you became a little more humble with this? That time to sit back and take a look at this, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I just started becoming more of like my following was beginning bigger, but like my friends and family was beginning like smaller, and like the people that I really cared about wouldn't talk to me, or I just made this, like, it was like I was getting paid $1 million a year. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I lived my life. It was like, this is my life. Like, if you don't like it, I don't care. If I hurt your feelings, I don't care about it. This is my life. Like, you don't, like, with like girls or whatever, like, I'm going to the gym. I'm not trying to, I wouldn't go to the club. I wouldn't go to the, I mean, I had my days of going to the club. It was like, I don't want to do that because I have to train tomorrow. Like, what don't you understand? Yeah. So I would just check people off.
Nothing will come in the way.
Yeah, move, get out of my. I don't care about you, like family, anybody, bro. It didn't matter to me. It didn't. And then all of a sudden, I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy crap! I got all these followers, but none of them really know or care about who I really am. They just like me because I'm rude. You know how it's like people like that bad guy that's is doing something right. They like that. They're going to talk on the internet about him, but they're going to like his video at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was like beginning to just getting used to that. It was like, I'm hated, but and I would say, oh, everybody hates on me because I'm doing something right. Then it became like, I don't want that no more. I want to kind of like, I feel like, okay, now I am good. I accept the fact that I am good, but I want to be a better person off the platform, on the platform. I want to be I want people to look up to me as like,
a role model, like a mentor, role model, and that's part of being a coach.
A coach. And then all of a sudden I'm like, dude, I started coaching people because I always helped people like in the gym, and then in high school, bro, I was like telling my football coaches what to do for like programs to run our program. Like no one liked me in high school, like on the football team, because I was like, dude, I benched 350 pounds when I was like, granted it was bounced off my chest, but
yeah, still that's high school.
Like as a freshman,
you're allowed to bounce in high school.
300.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing 300 for reps, like, and I was doing hand cleans with 315, and no one liked me, but I was just really good at playing football and this and that. So, I actually have a crazy story about
with online coaching. Like, there's so much online coaching out there right now. What do you think sets yours apart from everybody else? Like, what are you offering? Because you see so much online coaching right now. I mean, everyone's offering it. Besides being coached by you.
I'm not one to bash on people because, I mean, who wouldn't want to be a coach and be a full-time coach? Like, let's get real.
Yeah.
It's 2016. No one wants to really go work.
Yeah.
There's so much money in the world. There's so many things to do to not have to be a 9-to-5er. Nobody wants to do that. They want to, well, can I sell T-shirts? Can I sell hair product? Can I sell beard product? Can I sell socks? Can I sell programs? Can I sell myself? Can I sell anything, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I looked at my life. It was like, I got to a point where I'm like, okay, what can I do different that so-and-so's doing that's top-notch? Like, when I decided, okay, this is what I want to do, I would go search the top coaches. And I would look at what they're doing, and then I'm like, okay, what can I do to be different, you know? So I started making rates like, dude, when I first started, I was doing deadlift programs for $60, and then all of a sudden it went from like having one athlete to having, I had 50 athletes like that, and I was like, oh God, maybe I should charge a little bit more. But I honestly think, and I'm starting to see it more and more online, less websites and more personal. Like, I give out my personal cell phone number. I have people that will call me, text me, WhatsApp me, Instagram me, dude, all day long.
Yeah.
It's okay because I give that out. I give out my personal cell phone number. I've as many followers as I have. I literally.
And this is the bad boy. And this is the bad boy who previously didn't care about no one, and now is like, you give a lot of your time out. This sounds like it's more than an 8-hour-a-day job. Is that right?
Oh yeah, I mean, here, dude, it's like I go grocery shopping. It's like, you know, the people that I'm with, you know, that I care about and I spend time with them. Like, I don't see it as me working, but they don't see it as me working because I'm on my phone. You know, I do everything from my cell phone. I don't do emails. Dude, it's everything from my personal texting. I'm literally like this all day long, on the phone, all day long. And it's like some people give out personal phone numbers, and what they'll do is charge more to talk to you. Well, like I want my athletes. I don't call them clients. I don't call them just people, because I want them to feel like I care. Like not just feel that. I want them to know I care about every single one of them. Like, I want to get personal. I want to know about every single one of them. You know what I mean? Like, if they have a kid, or they have this, or they work here, they work there, I want to know about that. It's not me being a coach. I don't think of me as like, I'm a coach, I'm a friend, I'm there for you when you need me to be there for you. You have a shitty day, I want to be there to be like, yo, not only do you have a shitty workout, you had a shitty day at work, I want them to feel okay to be like, I can text my coach, because I had a guy do that for me. I had a guy that, you know, who helped me when I was younger. They didn't have that dad role, so I had to figure out what, you know, dude, I got kicked out of my house when I was 16 years old, so I had to figure out life, you know, so.
So is this guy, this mentor, was he a powerlifter too, or a coach, like a sporting coach, or? So
he's like the powerlifting, like, mind, like the dude. It's cool because I'm actually going to see him next weekend because I'm going home for Thanksgiving, so I get to see him. So I haven't seen him since I broke 795, broke all these records. But he would tell me, you know, all these people that would hate you would be like, Dude, I promise you, I've seen so many good lifters. It's gonna happen. You have to believe it. Like, I didn't believe it back in the day. I would say it out loud, like people would be like, you know, I would be cocky because I believe it built this confidence in me to where all of a sudden I started, like, if you tell your, like, you know, if you say a lie, if you say, I'm 6 foot, if I say that to myself every day,
you see, yeah.
100,000, I might believe that. You know what I mean?
It's like Ali said, I said I was the greatest before I even knew I was. You're trying to, it's like an affirmation. It's an affirmation. You say it enough times, start believing it.
I have a client who competed today, very 19-year-old, he's from Hawaii. He had this issue of self-confidence. He didn't believe in himself. So for the last 10 weeks, I made him text me every day saying, I am the strongest. Every day.
No shit. You'd be like, where's my text, man? Yeah.
Well, the thing about getting into the people's lives, your clients, is that the more you know, the more you can understand why they may have had a shitty day, why they're hitting good days. You know, maybe their life is turning around, maybe they have something good in their life or something bad. Like, but as a coach, that's a pretty awesome thing. Like, you're learning so much, and you're able to adapt them and their programs to that.
Yeah, like I literally would, and you have some people that charge, and again, at the end of the day, power lifters don't really think of, like, who wants to spend $1,000 on a 15-week program? Who wants to spend, you know, I don't think of it as like, I'm in it to be rich. Like, of course I would like to make money. Trust me, I like shoes. I like taking, you know, I like going out to dinner. I like going on trips. I enjoy it. I like to be able to know. I don't like to be able to, let me check my bank account before I swipe my debit card. That's not how I like to live. So I want to feel comfortable, of course. But you have people out there that are in it for the money, and I'm not. Okay, you know, I'm motivated by money. I'm motivated by lifting. I'm motivated by doubters or whatever, you know. But yeah, it's like I would rather have. Like, you have some people that were like, okay, well, let me get 10 clients paying me $1,000 a month. Well, now I'm making $10K a month. That's cool and all. For me, I'd rather charge $200 every 10 weeks. And have 100 clients.
Yeah.
So not only did I just make, you know, I might be making a little bit less money, but guess what? I'm touching 100 lives instead of 10. And not only am I want to help you, but I don't know, man. I just feel different. Like I look at life a little bit different than the people. Like, I don't think, like, because of the, like, shitty situations I've been in, like, and I've always put myself into these horrible, terrible situations, so I always had to figure out how to handle my situations, you know. So it wasn't like, what can I do to use what I've learned to help the next person, because I feel like, and that's whenever I got hurt, it was like, okay, maybe you are done, just accept the fact that you're done, but now you can use what you have to help the next person, or to change someone else. Maybe someone, you might meet somebody that's just like you, and you meet them at 18 years old or 16 years old. You can change their life right away. They're going the same path you went. You can change their life to lead them to become, well, man, I could have went down this road, but, you know, Micah helped me, and Micah did this, and it's almost like, I don't want people to call me dad, but, like, that's how I feel with all my clients. It's like a family. Like, I created my own group page on Facebook, so all my clients can post, so I can look at their videos, but now they feel like a team. You know what I mean? Like,
even though they're far away.
Dude, I have clients from Finland, Australia, Hawaii, everywhere, and they all get in this group, and dude, it's awesome to see them all talking and cheering each other on. Like,
encouragement, they're encouraging each other, bringing the positive. Yeah, the encouragement and the positivity of that is amazing. Like, bringing them all together, all different parts of the world, and they get to promote each other and your training.
Exactly. And another thing I like to do is, because you have so many people, like, it's crazy how the powerlifting industry and fitness industry is all about social media. You have people that are crazy in shape, but never get noticed. You know what I mean? You have people that are crazy, like my guy Ed, I don't even think he has 1,000 followers. So it's like the dude pulls 800 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, like listen to this. So you have like Ed Coan, and he's got a lot of followers, but then you have guys like Brantley Martin. He's like the social. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So he's like the social media queen or king.
No, maybe queen.
Anyways, but he's like this big millionaire, has 1 million followers. Has he ever competed in a bodybuilding show, in a powerlifting meet, in a bikini?
What's his claim to fame? What is his claim to fame? He's the brother of the Bro Science guy, right? Is he? Or is he not?
Yeah, that, and exactly. That guy's an idiot too. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. Doing crazy. It's like social media is like for instance, females. How do females get bigger on the internet? Well, they take their clothes off more and more and more, right?
Yeah.
Well,
some booty pics.
That just makes them look like less of like
an athlete.
You know what I mean? Like, more, yeah, you're more of like a social media.
You say
whatever,
you can say you know what you want to
throw it out. This shit ain't censored, man. You can throw it out.
Throw it out.
Yeah, you want like, come on. You think that like you have people that are like, for instance, you have someone, and I'm not gonna say any names, but you have people that have 50,000 followers and deadlift 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Or you have someone that pulls 530 pounds who has 15,000 followers.
So why do you think that is? Like, why is it just? Because it's true. I agree with you. There's guys who are like phenomenal. You see him on Instagram, and it's like, why isn't he more popular? And some guys just have a following like, whoa.
There's some people though that don't really promote themselves that well either, though. Like they're not really throwing up a lot of stuff.
I get that, but I'm talking about the people that do, like the people that post their lifting and love their lifting, but don't have and don't show. Like I know people, I know females that just want to post their lifting and they want to get big because of their lifting and they want to get big. They don't want to have to show their ass or show their like do a video from the back.
Yeah.
Like how many videos do you see on Instagram? You scroll down, it's like, man, come on.
Yeah, you know what they're doing. You know what they're doing. Yeah.
Put your sweatpants back on and pull that 315.
Yeah.
Let me know when you pull 500. You know
yeah.
It's like, why? It just doesn't make sense. You know, it's like it's kind of insulting themselves, like lowering their self-esteem of being like, dude, I gotta. It's like, oh, okay, I want 100,000 followers. Should I go do deadlifts naked?
Yeah.
Like what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the social media.
I might get less followers doing that, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
that's the social media craze. Everybody's looking to get those as many followers as they can, and they're competing. It's but they're not just competing on the platform. Now they're competing to see who can get the most
followers.
Who's got the most followers?
It's like high school.
Here, dude, like literally, you don't have to break records to become a social media celebrity. Like I said, you don't. Like you have people. Okay, Ed Coan doesn't even have 100,000 followers, but then that Brantley dude, or Brad, or whatever his name is, has 1 million.
Yeah.
And he's never won I don't even think he's won a medal. It's like, come on, dude. You know what I mean? Dude, he's jacked out of his mind, and he does like lifts with girls. That's cool, and it's awesome looking. But it's just like, I'm just saying, I'm not knocking his hustle because I'm a hustler too. So I appreciate his hustle, the way he hustles and gets things done, but I'm just saying, for like, you would think Ed Coan, that's Michael Jordan right now.
Yeah.
Like that's, and you would think he would have 1 million followers.
But a lot of that's alliances too. I mean, especially with the way it is now with the social media, it's the alliances that you're building. Like it's not just Bradley. I mean, it's Dana Lynn too. Like it's an empire built there. They've off what they're doing and who they aligned with right off the start. So a lot of these people, it's who starts following them and who starts mentioning them. And I mean, you start mentioning someone, I'm sure they pick up a lot of followers. Like it depends on who it is and what's going on.
It's a game now. It's politics now.
That's another thing that I think that separates me from other coaches. Again, I might not be the best knowledgeable coach. I'm accepting the fact that I don't have certifications. I mean, I've got my NASM, I had my NASM, but I'm not book smart, I'm experience smart. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I've done it. I've been there. I've done. Like, that's what I would rather have a coach who's done it than who knows. Than maybe knows what it takes, because guess what? 800 pounds is still 800 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If I, and I don't work, I don't really do percentages. I don't even know how to do percentages. Like, when I'm at the gym with Steph, she does percentages, and I'm like asking her, I'm trying to like learn how to do percentages, because I don't know what that even means, because I go off of feel. I go off of when I text a client a program, I don't give them a piece of paper and email them and say, oh, here you go, bro, let me know how you do. And then in 5 weeks they text me and I'm like, who is this? That's not how I do. I talk to every single one of my clients 3 to 4 times a week. I send them a program of their layout, of what I think their reps, or no reps, just what their accessories are going to be for the week. And then I'll do, so if they text me on Monday, they got a lift on Tuesday, they got a bench on Tuesday, I'll text them the numbers. Okay, well, last week, I looked at your videos, last week you did 225 times 3 times 6. Well, this week you need to do, last week looked shitty, so let's drop down to 215 and do 5 reps times 2, pauses, plus add bands. Like, every week changes. Like, that's how I do my stuff.
So basically your program goes out week to week. Like, you're sending out every week what the next one's going to be?
Kind of. Day by day is what I kind of, like, when people ask, I more say day by day. I want to communicate with my clients more, because I want to get on that level of, like, where they're comfortable with texting me and saying, man, I had a shitty day. Because some clients don't want to do that. They don't want to let the coach down. You know what I mean? I want them to know that it's okay, because I've had plenty of shitty days. I've bombed out of more meets than I've done. So, you know, I want people to know that that's okay, to feel comfortable with. You know, I have clients that will text me and call me when their girlfriend broke up with them, or their grandma died, or their dog died, or their son ate the fish. And I'll catch myself being on the phone for 45 minutes. I'm like, holy shit, hey man, and then I become like a friend, and it's like, but you're paying me. It's like, it blows my mind sometimes to know that. So that I'm like, oh, and then at the end of the cycle, they either re-sign up or they stay in touch with me as a friend. Like, I have a guy right now that's like one of my closest. Like, I talk to him every day. Like, he's like one of my really good friends now. And it all became through coaching. You know what I mean? Like, and like, you know, you helped me change. Not only helped me get stronger, but you helped me build confidence in myself, and you helped me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a pretty judgmental person. Like, I judge people super fast, and that's just the way I am. Like, I will stereotype. I will try to feel people out like that, because I feel like I have that ability to do that. And then if I feel like someone's weak-minded, I will let them know, hey, this needs to change because you're weak. You're weak, not on the platform. Like, my guy Ed, he is like so technical. If I was as technical as him, I would pull 900 pounds. He's so, like, it's amazing, but he's just, like, lacks confidence. So when we talk, I tell him, I put in his head, I ream in his head 800 pounds, just ream in it, like, to where now he talks about it to me. I don't have to tell him, hey, we're doing this. He just believes it now. You know, and even his wife noticed it. Like, she made a post today about, you know, and it was cool, it was touching, it was like, she was like, you know, it's just been crazy to know over the last year how much confidence my husband has gotten on and off the platform. And he's like kind of a quiet guy, but now he's like more talkative, more like joking around, and it's just cool to see like that. Because that's what it takes, I feel, to achieve some of these things. You could be have the best technique in the world, but if you don't actually think you can do it, and you have to know, like, I would literally go to sleep with like a piece of paper, and I would write 800 pounds like 1,000 times on this paper until I fell asleep with it in my hand.
You know, it's funny you said that. I'll do the same thing, and I don't know if it's like it releases anxiety, or you're wishing it into real life, or maybe it's both. But sometimes it's something securing, like a
maybe
feeling.
It might be helping get rid of some of the doubt. You know what I mean? Like all you're doing is that positive energy, that positive thought that this is going to happen. Like I train every day to do this.
Therapists say when you need to get something out, you write a letter. It doesn't matter who it's to. Burn that shit, bury it, whatever, and that's how you get it out. And these affirmations, these are all tools that people use, legit. That you just stumble on naturally, right?
Yeah. So it's like that's how I live. But then the moment I step into the gym, I let all the stuff that I've done wrong and all the like things that bother me, I put it into my head like over and over and over and over again. Like something that I hate, and I know that bothers me more and more and more. And I literally get to the point where I'm ready to like kill somebody. That's when I know it's like, okay, it's time to.
Is that tough to do on a daily basis, though, on a daily grind, or?
Hey man, you've done and been through some of the stuff I've been through. No, I'll be doing curls, and I'm like, oh, I hate that this happened.
Son of a bitch! Yeah. That's also therapeutic.
Yeah, so sometimes it doesn't work for people. You know, some people you have to be, and that's another thing. Like I said, I feel like I'm kind of good at being. That's why I like going to meets. Like I don't have to go to any meets. Like I'm an online coach. I don't have to go to the meet to help you. I want to do that. You know, unless you pay and get me there, I'll travel all day long. If I can go to a different meet every week, count me in. But no, like I'll go to the meets, and it's like I like to be there to read you that day, to know, like me and Ed, we have this connection that's like, we're at the meet and like people are screaming crazy loud for him, and he turns all that off, doesn't hear anything, but he hears me, like coaching him through it. Hey, because he has grip issues, so I'll tell him this, I'll tell him that, lats tight, back tight, glute, squeeze the bar, do this, and he hears just me. So it's like, and I know what to say in between, like if he's nervous, I know I'll crack a joke just to like get his mind off of the nervousness, or I'll be like, I'll say something like kind of cocky that, hey man, if they already told me I can go get my suit out. Better smoke this, bro.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, but that literally what that did mentally, it just got him off of. It got him off of being nervous about the next lift. Like literally yesterday, he was like this. After he pulled 762, it looked slow, and I was like, it didn't look as what normally could do. So I bumped him up to 783, and I was like, I'm gonna go get into his head. I'm gonna go tell him this, that, and this, but not negative. Like I wasn't going in his head being like, motherfucker, you better get this.
Yeah.
That's I don't even like when if someone did it to me, I would slap him. I'd be like, bro.
Doesn't help.
Yeah. It doesn't do anything besides like you just wasted all your energy and your breath stinks. So please get out of it. So it's like in his head, I kind of knew to tell him like I gave him M&Ms. Like here's some candy. I said here's some candy. Go relax. And he's eating candy, just sitting there eating M&Ms, and then I'm just like cracking jokes. I'll show him a video. I'll be on Instagram, and I'm like looking at like some stupid video of like Brantley Martin or Bro Science, and like check this out. He'll be watching it, but literally what I'm doing to him is mentally getting his mind off of the crowd and getting his mind off of everyone in that building saying, hey, you gonna play 800? Hey, you gonna play 800? Hey, you gonna play 800?
Yeah.
And now what that does to him is it frightens him, it scares him.
It's
like,
stress.
But with me, yeah, of course, but when people say it to me, like me and him are different. When people are like, Micah, you gonna play 800? No, I'm pulling 810. You know
Yeah.
That's how I am. And that's how I learned to be, because I used to be like, I don't know, I'll try. No, I'm not going to pull 810. I'm going to pull 820. Deep down, I might be scared, but out loud, I heard myself say 820. And I heard myself literally, psychologically, mentally trick myself out. And next thing you know, 800's going, 795, whatever. It's flying up, but that's just.
Are we good for the corn section? We got plenty of tape, right? Make sure you keep track. We're just checking our tapes real quick.
Dude, I got plenty. I'm good for the rest of the night. I got
Okay.
dinner out for another 2 hours, so I got nothing but time. That's why I wanted to know how long you guys are planning, because I got some stuff to talk about. So.
And those, how much time in terms of video on there? How much time we got left? So we don't want to cut abruptly.
4 hours.
Oh, 4. Okay, we got plenty. So.
Hey man, I'll give you so much information. You can cut it up, chop it up.
Yeah. This has been awesome, and we
dude, you're killing it.
Yeah,
you're killing it.
This is especially like we appreciate this a lot. So one of the things I wanted to say to you is we've been talking about your programming, we've been talking about all the other stuff. Here's a chance to plug your programming. Like we throw that in there because here's the thing for you to say. Like if you guys want to reach out,
well.
you have plugged it, but your actual thing, your site. Like here's a chance for you to plug it.
Yeah,
go to this site if you're looking for the programming.
Yeah. What is your site? What's your site? How's best to reach you?
You know what my site is? It's 314-471-6396. That's my cell phone.
There you go.
How many coaches out there are going to give you that phone number?
What's that?
I said, how many coaches out there are really going to give them? Online coaches, talking to people that you don't know, not the people at the gym that you met that want to be coached, but all over the world, there's a phone number.
There's my phone number. I give my personal phone number out because I feel, again, if someone is... I came from no money, so when I try to tell, hey, my program's $200, in my head, regardless if this client is a cop or a teacher or a personal trainer or whatever, a stripper or whatever, I don't care. I still think $200 is a lot of money, especially for to give to someone you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I had a guy come into the gym the day that I did the powerlifting motivation deadlifting with Steph. I had a guy come in from Finland. Comes up to me, talks to me, we talk about the program, and no one has ever really questioned me about, like, can I trust you? You know what I mean? And the guy was so nervous to give me the money, it was just like, I didn't really realize, like, holy cow, like, you are giving me money. He's handing me cash, you know? I just met you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like, it registered in my mind that, okay, that's why I do what I do. That's why I give out my personal cell phone number, because I want... And if you text me, like, if you're my client, my paying client, you text, whether you pay $50 or you paid $1,000, you're going to... Whether I'm coaching Dan Green or Billy Bob, who I don't know, they're going to get the same amount of attention.
Yeah.
I don't care. Honestly, I would rather give my full attention to someone that just is new to the sport than to someone that kind of already has an idea of what life is about. Yeah. Those guys are way harder to coach than a rookie.
Yeah.
I honestly love coaching women, because women, they listen. When I'm talking about... Now, I'm not talking about outside lifting weights. I'm talking about just lifting.
Yeah. That's right. You're damn right, man. That's another discussion, but...
You know, they don't... We won't go there.
Yeah, it's on the record. It's on the record, yeah. But I know what you mean. They put aside the ego a lot when it comes to training, and they'll listen. Whereas guys, they almost want to, like... Some guys, especially if they've been in the game a long time, feel like they know it already. They're less receptive.
Here's an example, okay? So it's like, Micah, I want you to coach me. I want you to be my deadlift coach. I don't want to pull 880. I pull 860. Okay, cool. I'll get you there. I'll do everything in my power to get you there. And then I'll send them a workout. Hey, you're hitting 800 for a double. If it's easy, can I go 820? No, you can't. No. You know what I mean? Versus me sending a workout to a girl that's pulling 200 and she wants to pull 220. I'll send her a workout. She'll send you back an emoji flexing.
Yeah. No shit. That's the truth.
You know what I mean? That's why it's like, if you are paying me, please just trust me, because at the end of the day, you don't want to. I'm not going to pay if I'm paying somebody. Especially if I'm paying somebody, because I don't like to spend money on things that I'm not going to pay someone that I don't 100% believe in. That's what I want. And that's what I'll tell people. Listen to this. So if you are my client and I tell my clients to text me and ask me for their numbers. If you don't text me, regardless if you paid or not, and you don't text me saying, hey, Micah, what's my numbers? Guess what you're not getting? Your numbers. Because that shows me you don't you don't care.
Yeah.
I want to coach people that want to do this because if I have 100 people, I want every single one of them to want to do this. It's not going to be easy. It's not, you know, and I believe in hard-ass work. My stuff's not like, oh, I have this, hey guys, by the way, I have this magic workout that just, you know, you put 7 bands on you put bands on your toenails and then you put it in your hair, and guess what, you're deadlifting 800 pounds 8 weeks later. No, that's retarded. Like, that's not real. You come to me, I'm going to get you, not only will I coach you, I will counsel you, I will treat you like my best friend, I will, whatever you want. You tell me what you want and I'll do it because I want to help you. You're coming to me, so I feel the need that I'm giving you my all. Like, I want to give you, I'm not going to give you 50% because guess what? If you go tell Christopher or John or Allison or Ricky, Micah Marino gave me 50%. Well, guess what? That'll spread like, I mean, here, when you have people that are bigger names that you're watched everywhere you go, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't matter. That's just the way it is, you know? So I tend to, and it's not because I have to. Again, it's like, you know, some people tell me that I have to do this or I have to do that. No, I don't. I don't care if you pay me or not. I'm in this because I want to be here. I could easily go get a job at the dealership. Dude, in 2000 and, when I lived in St. Louis last year, I was top car salesman. I mean, that's when I took a break from powerlifting. I was top car salesman, selling 25 cars a month, making...
Holy smokes!
Making over... Dude, I was 24 years old, making over $100,000 a year.
Oh.
In a suit, dressed up to the nines, making 10 to 12 grand every month.
Yeah.
And I only had $1,500 a month in bills. So I did what I want. I went to wherever I went. Didn't matter. I got to the point where I got so cocky with money, I would go to strip clubs and I would literally, if I didn't like the girl, I would be like, here's $500 to get the fuck out of my face.
Oh shit!
So that's you know, again, but that was once you're in that atmosphere of being surrounded by salesmen and being surrounded by go-getters and being surrounded by people that don't care about nothing. It came to a point where all I wanted to do was have a six-pack and have great hair. My shoe game was going to be strong. And my watch was going to be great. And I had money. Like, it came to a point where it was all about money. I didn't care about people anymore. It was like, I don't care if you want to buy a Ford Fusion or you want to buy a BMW. I'm going to sell you whatever I can make more money on.
Yeah.
Unless it was my dad, my girlfriend, my brother, I didn't care. I'm making money off of anyone. That's why I do what I do now, because I feel like I learned. You know, some people go through life with getting everything handed to them, going to college, getting college paid, doing this,